The regular season has come to a close, and we're getting set for some postseason hockey. This is the Dump and Chase podcast presented by the Hoosier Network. It's the season finale. I'm Noah Wadoris with Noah Seuss. Noah, is there anything better than playoff hockey?
I'm going to say no. There's really nothing better. In all of sports, this is my favorite time of year because hockey's just rolling. Baseball's getting going. It's just a great time.
It's a good time. It's between, late March, early April. I guess we're at mid-April at this point. Between that and October as the best times of the year for sports. I'm a little bit of a homer for MLB, and I'll probably take that as a slightly better postseason, but NHL is so close to right there. We got a full show. We're going to talk about awards picks. We're going to talk about the postseason. We're going to talk about our Stanley Cup picks. We're without Jack Rizzo today once again.
Jack Rizzo.
Really sucks for the season finale, but we'll be back next season, so that's okay. Let's talk about awards, and we'll start with the Hart Trophy. This is one that we actually agreed on,
yes,
but we'll talk about Jack's case as well. You and I both picked Connor McDavid. Talk about Connor and why he deserves yet another Hart Trophy.
Listen, the NHL agreed with us too because they picked him. They already announced it. It's done.
Yeah. He
won the Hart Trophy. Great. He had a great year. Down year for Connor McDavid, kind of, but 138 points in 82 games. He's just the best player on this planet when it comes to this sport. There's no one close.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the show didn't quite end up at the right timing for awards, but it's still good to send your pick out just because, everybody has a different take.
Exactly.
And it's very, very objective in a sport where there's not a whole lot of stats.
Yeah.
I mean, there's things the NBA and NHL and NFL and MLB have so many of these, advanced stats that they use to predict players. NHL is very, very hard to really assess player value.
And McDavid was a player that we didn't really talk about this year in Player of the Week. We didn't really talk about him much. He had a very quiet year. Edmonton didn't really succeed in the standings, but he had a good year for Edmonton. Once he got going, the Oilers got going. He is the key.
Yeah. So Jack's pick was Nikita Kucherov. And Jack was very high on the Lightning all season. I'm trying to pull up the stats right now. I didn't come quite as well prepared. NHL site was crashing on me all day yesterday.
Kucherov had 130 points in 76 games played.
Yeah. So I mean, it was close.
Yeah, it was a tight race. So if Kucherov played those extra games, he could easily have taken down McDavid for the Hart, in my opinion. He could have played if he played those extra games, because McDavid played all 82 and had 138. Kucherov would have scored 8 or 9 points in the extra games.
Are you confused about the awards a little bit?
No, I got it.
Okay,
I'm good.
Because I don't think they announced the Hart Trophy.
I think they did. I thought I saw something on Twitter.
Well, because they do they do like the unopinion. They do the Ross and the Rocket.
I don't know where I saw it. I saw something. He won something.
Well, because he won the Ross because he had the most points.
Yeah, true. Maybe that's what I saw.
Yeah, because I don't think it's until June. Like
I might be getting confused, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, so Hart is still very much up in the air. McDavid did win the Art Ross last night.
Yes, there we go.
But because that's just a numbers based award.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's still a debate between
McDavid
and Kucherov.
We had it between McDavid and Kucherov. The Vezina. This was one that we all agreed on. We had a sweep for Andrei Vasilevsky. This was an interesting one because, looking purely at statistics, and Scott Wedgwood swept with goals against and save percentage. He had more shutouts than most goaltenders in the league, but he wasn't used as much as a guy like Vasilevsky or even, Sorokin or Casey DeSmith or Dan Vladar even, Wedgwood kind of had some split time, and so he wasn't even a nominee for the Vezina this season.
Which is terrible because he had such a good year in Colorado. He's been a key part of this team, winning the President's Trophy and being the top seed in these playoffs. He's just been so key. When I would say he plays more an important role than Vasilevsky does for this Colorado team. Because if they don't have a goalie, I don't think they're going to win the President's Trophy.
I think they're very even. I think that Colorado and Tampa are two very, very similar teams that both have relied heavily on their goaltending. Now, I do agree that, or actually, I disagree a little bit, that Tampa Bay has relied way more heavily on purely Andrei Vasilevsky.
Yes.
And that's why he's going to win the Vezina, most likely. But Wedgwood's been better, in my opinion. But he also has a way better defense in front of him.
Yeah, exactly.
Both great defenses, but there's something different about the Colorado team.
And I also think a reason could be that Wedgwood played a significant less amount of games for Colorado because he's splitting time.
Right.
When Vasilevsky was the guy in net for Tampa.
This is a total side note. I've asked multiple times to Jack Rizzo when he was producing this if he could see like the runtime of the recording. And so for the entire season, we've done, like, I'm looking at a stopwatch the whole time. There was a timer. Like, it's ticking up. 550, 551. Like, it is very much time. So, and Jack just never noticed, apparently.
But did we not notice when we did the No episode a couple weeks ago?
I mean, I probably just wasn't looking for it, but it's very obvious right now. There's a big red dot with a timer, and I know exactly what that means.
Oh, Jack. We miss you, buddy.
All right, this is the debate that was very interesting because I disagree with both you and Jack. A little bit of a devil's advocate for you, and it's the Calder Trophy because you picked, of course, Matthew Schaefer. Talk about Matthew Schaefer.
Listen, Matthew Schaefer, franchise-changing NHL defenseman, and he stepped in year one at 18 years old and changed the hype around a New York Islanders team which had nothing going for it last year. He is so talented, and he shows it every single night on the ice. I think Demidov's a good player. Don't get me wrong. He's a great NHL player. But I don't think he's changed the Montreal franchise in any particular way like Matthew Schaefer has.
I picked Demidov, and it's so close, and I admit that. Demidov, I agree, has not carried his team as much as Schaefer has. And Schaefer has the edge on goals, but the points differential is in favor of Demidov. And it's so close.
That is close.
I'm really not one to give a strong pick on this. The experts right now are picking Matthew Schaefer. I think that he absolutely benefits from, like you said, really being the guy on his team. He doesn't have a whole lot of support in Long Island right now. Yeah, not much to say about Ivan Demidov.
Beckett Sennett also deserves a shout-out. He's had a great year, too, as well in Anaheim.
Well, part of it also for Demidov is that he ended the season on a really cold streak.
Yeah.
Had, a couple of points in his last two games. Both of those were goals. I think he would have had a much better chance if he could have had a hot streak to end the season. Because, Schaefer having the advantage on goals, the advantage on the plus-minus, probably outweighs simply the point differential unless Demidov had, 12 more points.
Yeah, exactly.
But very, very close race. I think this will be the closest race.
Out of all of them, yes.
Yeah. I think, but the Hart, I think, will also be up there because...
How close they are in points.
Yeah. I mean, who's the finalist right now? I have it pulled up. The Hart... Kucherov, according to ESPN, is the favorite right now. And then McDavid and McKinnon are both nominated. And I think those three are just so close.
Yes, those three are so tight in points. And they're all really talented players. That just shows you how talented the game is today. When you have three dominating forces in the National Hockey League. And they all could win this trophy.
Yep.
They all deserve it.
I think so too. And, it's one of those things. Hockey is a very team-oriented sport. I think it's hard to deny that. Any of these guys would take a Stanley Cup over a Hart Trophy.
100%.
Especially McDavid, who has won plenty of Hart Trophies in his career. I think he's at 3 right now.
Yes.
Looking for his 4th. He would much rather care about the Stanley Cup playoffs than if he's going to win the Hart Trophy.
I think all 3 Hart Trophies just for one.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he's so due for a Stanley Cup.
One more award to go through, and that is the Norris Trophy. I picked Evan Bouchard.
I picked Zach Werenski.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be close. This is a season that is so interesting because we were talking about this on our way here, where in terms of playoff picks and teams, everybody's very close. I mean, nobody's very close. Like there is an obvious S tier of Stanley Cup contending teams. You have the Avs, you have the Stars, Wild probably in there, Tampa Bay, Carolina,
Yes.
and then everybody else. With individual awards, it's the complete opposite, where the top of the awards picks are so close.
Yeah.
There isn't because there's been seasons where McDavid is the obvious choice.
Like 100%, he has like 150 points, and the next guy is like 115.
Yeah. But this season, there are so many conversations that we're going to have if you're one of these voters as to who is going to actually take home the hardware.
Bouchard is really good offensively.
Yeah.
But he really lacks defensively.
But that's what the award.
Yes.
The award is typically
The highest point.
who is your most offensive defenseman.
Yes. But Werenski, on the other hand, pretty much a key point in this Blue Jackets team. Why they were even close to this race come April. Like, the Blue Jackets have no shot of ever being in this race if it wasn't for Zach Werenski, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, at one point you would have said it was Cale Makar who was going to win it again. But it's a real conversation. Those are the three finalists. It's Werenski, Bouchard, and Cale Makar.
Yeah, Cale Makar, he had a good year, but not as good as years past.
No. And, you know, Zach also benefits from the fact that he plays for plays for Columbus.
Yes.
Where just like Schaefer, there's not a whole lot of help around him. And so but that's also a two-way street. There's the fact of playing well on a team that doesn't play well, and there's also the fact of being an Evan Bouchard who can still be a massive contributor to a team that has Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah,
so it's noticeable when Evan Bouchard can put up the numbers that he does while still not even being the top guy on his team.
Yeah, you're scoring 21 goals and getting 74 assists.
Yeah.
It's pretty good numbers overall for him when you're not even the main guy.
And that's why Cale Makar's, won the award before, is because he plays for Colorado, where there are so many options, and he's getting his assists up as part of it because he has so many guys to pass to.
Yeah. If it was an award based just on your defensive output, Zach Werenski would win this award.
Yeah.
Because he's so good defensively, blocking shots, causing great defensive plays. Bouchard doesn't do that.
No.
He's not the best overall defenseman.
Not at all. But he is, I think, the best offensive
defenseman. Yes.
Let's talk about the playoffs now. Let's pivot. Let's talk about some first-round matchups that we are just simply excited for. First off, let's talk about Stars Wild, which has the potential to be the best series in this postseason.
Listen, we've talked about it so many times this season where the NHL playoff format is so messed up that we were going to get this series in the first round. It's ridiculous. These two teams are arguably the second and third best team in the league, let alone the Western Conference, and they have to play each other in the first round.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think that this is, like you said, the issue with the playoffs, but it does allow for a very exciting first round. And frankly, it's an issue where you can complain all you want about when you're playing them, but
you would have to go through.
If Dallas wants to win the Stanley Cup, they're probably going to have to go through Minnesota regardless.
Yes.
So playing them in the first round versus playing them in the second round is not that big of a difference.
Yeah. Both teams are so good on paper. Both teams have great goaltending, great defense. It's going to be a really tight series here. Ooh, I have Dallas winning this one in 7.
I also have Dallas winning this one, probably in 7. I think that they absolutely benefit from home ice, getting that Game 7 potentially at home. I'm not sure if it'll go the distance. And it totally relies on what Minnesota's goaltending does. If they show up defensively, if they can keep Dallas, as a unit of defenders and goaltenders, if they can keep Dallas scoring low, that's how they stay in it. Because you're not going to outscore Dallas. No. You're going to have to outdefend Dallas.
But and the big thing is the Wild's penalty kill has to step up against this Dallas offense. These two teams are going to be really close. They're really close just in general. Let's look at the regular season matchups between these two and see who took the season series, even though that doesn't really matter in the playoffs.
I think they went 2-2.
They went 2-2.
I'm not positive on that.
Let me look here. Regular season series. Where? Okay, just don't give it to me, ESPN. Okay, there it is. Okay, yep, 2-2 this year. Dallas won both games in Dallas. Minnesota won both games in Minnesota.
Yeah. Which gives you a lot of confidence if you're Dallas because you're going to get that extra game at home.
Exactly. It's going to come down to the goaltending between these two.
Yeah. Next series that we're excited about is going to be Tampa and Montreal. This is, it has the potential. There aren't a whole lot of exciting first rounds.
No.
In the East, especially. I think that there's potential for Buffalo, Boston to be good.
Yes.
Potential for Ottawa, Carolina to be good. Pittsburgh, Philly is just kind of silly.
It's going to go 7.
It's going to be fun, but it's going to be silly. The only one that I think is a guaranteed going to be a great series is Tampa Bay and Montreal.
Yes.
Because it's two very strong teams. The only issue for that is that Montreal really does not match up defensively, especially with the goaltending.
Yeah, Tampa's really good in net. They're really good defensively. They're good all around.
Yeah, you're matching up Vasilevsky with I'm not even sure who the Canadians, goaltender one is right now.
Are they going to go?
Yeah, exactly. That's a question mark. Who's going to be their probably Jakub Dobis?
Probably.
But who knows?
Yeah, this Canadians team and they lack defensively. Tampa's really strong offensively. And this Montreal defense is really going to have to step up if they want to win this series. And in the playoffs, it's so crucial to have such a good defense and good goaltending. Tampa has that. That's why they've gone far multiple years, because they always have that.
Yeah, that's also the thing, is that Tampa Bay is very playoff proven.
Yes. They
have done this multiple times. We've seen them hoist the cup on multiple occasions. And the roster is very playoff experience full, especially compared to this Montreal team who has some experience, but not even close. The
Stanley Cup final rematch.
Yeah. The difference maker for me is Montreal's ice.
Yes.
If they want to stay, Montreal can win this series if they can win at home.
Exactly.
All you got to do is win your 3 games.
And then take one on the road.
Take one in Tampa Bay. Because Montreal is such a hard place to play. It's going to be rocking. You got guys like Caulfield and Suzuki who feed off this energy, in my opinion. And so you're going to get the first 2 in Tampa. If you can steal 1,
yes, you're
looking really pretty. If Tampa Bay takes the first 2 in Tampa, I think the series is over.
Yeah, because all they would have to do is just win 1 in Montreal, and then they go back home.
Yep. No, they don't even have to win 1 in Montreal. Tampa Bay gets 4 games in Tampa.
Yes.
So if they take the first 2 in Tampa, they don't even have to worry about winning a road game.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, this series is arguably the best series that we're going to see in the first round.
Yeah, and with the way that the rest of the East is, I mean, Boston is fine. Buffalo had a great regular season, but do we really trust them as a playoff team?
That's where I see my first round upset. That's where I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see Buffalo losing.
So the winner of Tampa Bay Montreal is going to get Buffalo or Boston.
Yes, and that's the Eastern Conference.
You don't want to say that it's a free ride because weird things happen in the Stanley Cup playoffs every year. We saw 2019 is always the big one to me because all 4 1 seeds went out in the first round.
The Blue Jackets beat the President's Trophy Tampa Bay Lightning, who had 128 points.
Yep. But you still want to think critically about this. The winner of Tampa Bay Montreal, I would be shocked if they lose to Buffalo or Boston. And then they're going to get Carolina in the conference finals, and I would pick them over Carolina.
Yes.
I think that the winner of the East will come out of this first round series between Tampa Bay and Montreal.
Carolina, this is their year. They have to do something.
I don't think it's happening this year.
Rob Brendamore is out then. He has to go. Because they can't just keep going to the conference finals and then not doing anything. They're too talented of a hockey team to be going that far and not going the extra step.
Yeah, I don't believe in Carolina. I actually won't be shocked if they lose this first round series to Ottawa.
I really don't have faith in the Ottawa Senators, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Linus Ullmark is that stable of keeping up in net with the Carolina Hurricanes offense and their system.
I agree with that, but I also don't really believe in Carolina's goaltending. I mean, they don't have a guy. No. Carolina doesn't have a guy on their roster with a save percentage over 900.
The thing is with Carolina, they do have their system, though, and their system is so steady.
Kochikov has an .899 save percentage. That's a team high. And he's still giving up 2 and 2 1/3 goals a game.
And Brandon Bussey was freaking awesome at the end of this regular season.
Yeah.
But he has an .895 goal save percentage, which is good, but it's not going to be stable in a playoff series when you're playing Tampa Bay or Montreal.
And I think it's similar to the Tampa Bay Montreal series, where if you're Ottawa and you're looking to pull off a first round upset, you got to take one in Carolina. Take one out of the first 2 in Carolina. I think that the Canes can put Ottawa on their back if they take both at home to start the series.
You win 2 straight, you just go back to Ottawa and you win 1 game, and then you go home.
Yeah.
This is going to be a Carolina series. And then you got the Battle of Pennsylvania down low, which is...
Yeah, I think this one can be fun for kind of the opposite of the Tampa Bay Montreal reason, where neither of these teams are going to be cup contenders, but they're playing each other in the first round. So you're guaranteeing either the Pittsburgh Penguins or Philadelphia Flyers are in the second round of the playoffs.
Yes. And these teams hate each other.
Yes.
Like, they can't stand each other. So this is both of their Stanley Cups, I'm going to be honest with you. They're not making it anywhere past the second round. So if you beat Philly or you beat Pittsburgh, you have just bragging rights forever. Because until you play again in the playoffs, because I don't know when they will.
I will say that I do believe in Philly to some degree because of the man in net, Dan Vladar.
Yes.
I think that on paper for the rest of the team, Pittsburgh has the experience, they have the roster, they have home ice. Everything is looking Pittsburgh's way except for Dan Vladar, who is facing them in the other team's net. I think that is the secret where I think I'll still pick Pittsburgh in this series, but I won't be shocked if Philly pulls it off. And then we could have such a weird Stanley Cup playoffs if Ottawa can pull off. If you're telling me Philly versus Ottawa in round 2 of the playoffs.
So one of those 2 teams can go to the Eastern Conference Finals right now.
It's so weird.
And then probably either play Buffalo or Montreal. If it's
or Tampa.
Or Tampa.
It's probably going to be Tampa.
What about Buffalo, Ottawa for old time's sake?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I'll be shocked if it's not Tampa Bay out of the East this year. But again, weird things happen in hockey every year.
Weird things happen. They could lose first round.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone can lose first round. Colorado can lose first round to the LA Kings.
Not going to happen. Let's talk about the most likely upset. Let's make a pick right now. Actually, you know what? First, we're kind of going off script because we just previewed the entire East. Let's look at this Western Conference matchups and just talk about, first off, Colorado and LA. Do the Kings have a chance?
The Kings of the loser point, I'm going to say no. They've had a really mid-regular season, and they made the playoffs just how bad the Western wildcard race was. I think Colorado's a juggernaut, and there's no point where I'm like, this team's weak on this end, weak at that end. They're just dominant on both ends of the ice.
Yeah.
Where the Kings lack.
It's going to be a 4-game series, and I think that's the very popular opinion. We already talked about Dallas and Minnesota. Vegas and Utah is a fun one to me because I think I'd rather be Utah in this situation. I think that Vegas is not the team that they would like to be. I think that they are a fraudulent division winner, and I think that Utah is a very hot team right now. We talked about this last week. At one point, Utah was kind of this, bubble team with the rest of the Western Conference wildcard race, but they turned on the Jets to end the season and were the first team to secure a wildcard spot out of the West. They were able to distance themselves from teams like St. Louis or Winnipeg or who took the last spot?
The Kings.
Or the Kings or, the Ducks even, who were potentially falling into that wildcard race. I think that Utah is a very hot team, very talented team. They're a little too top-heavy for me, but compared to the Knights, I don't mind them.
They could honestly beat the Knights and then give the Oilers or the Ducks, pretty much I'm going to say the Oilers, a run for their money.
Yeah, I mean, that's the benefit of how bad everybody who isn't the Wild Stars and Avalanche in the West are, is that if you're Utah playing the Knights in the first round, you have a very clear path to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, and by getting that top wildcard spot was huge because now you can just avoid them until that point.
Yeah.
Avoid the big dogs until the Western Conference Finals and just go through this Pacific Division that had a struggling season.
Yeah, so let's move to that Edmonton Ducks series. Like you mentioned, you're saying that it's a clear Edmonton.
It's a clear Edmonton because of the Ducks playoff experience. They just don't have that experience when it comes to this. Team's so young. They just don't have it. When Edmonton's been here before, I'm going to say it goes 5 or 6 games, but I think Edmonton wins in the end.
I think I agree. I obviously don't love Edmonton right now. They're not playing great hockey. They really disappointed me this season. But like you said, the Ducks have nothing going for them, and they have been on such a skid as of recent. They started the year so hot. We were shocked. It was, about mid-season, and they were still one of the top teams in the West, and the top team in the Pacific Division. But as of right now, they are so cold. And, I mean, the Stahl is not great. Honestly, he's been bad as of recent in net. But on the other end of the ice, who does Edmonton have in goal?
Exactly.
Tristan Jarry.
Tristan Jarry, who's famously known for not being good when it comes to the playoffs. So it's going to be a struggle in net. We might see some...
It's going to be an 8-7 hockey game.
8-7 every game in overtime, knowing the Pacific Division.
Yeah.
Is it going to be Connor Ingram? Connor Ingram didn't have a terrible year.
You could see multiple goaltenders in this series, I believe.
Yes. With how bad both teams are.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Realistically, game 1, Jarry gives up a 5 spot in 2 periods, and you go to your bench automatically.
Exactly.
There's a lot of options here, and who knows? For all we know, we could be totally wrong, and Tristan Jarry has, the best hockey postseason of all time.
He comes back to form.
Yeah, exactly. So give me a pick right now. Who is your most likely upset in this bracket?
My most likely upset right now is the Boston Bruins beating the Buffalo Sabres. The whole year, I thought Boston was due to fall off. They were due to just go down in the standings and absolutely miss this playoffs. They have shocked me every time I've doubted them. So I am picking Boston to beat Buffalo. I'm going to say in 6 games, I don't think Buffalo's playoff experience is enough to get them past the Boston Bruins, who have been here before. Swayman's been here before. And I think he's going to lead him right past Buffalo.
I don't mind that pick. I was thinking that as well. The only thing is that I do trust this Buffalo team. Like, there's teams that have good regular seasons, but you watch them, they don't quite pass the eye test. They just win the close games. Buffalo, I believe, is a team who is as good as their record says they are. Obviously, agree with you where they don't have the experience, and Boston obviously does. But I won't bet on Boston pulling off that upset. My pick, I'll stay in the same conference, but it's Ottawa taking down the Canes in the first round, taking down the number 1 overall team in the Eastern Conference. The thing for me is that this is a series that lacks goaltending. You're going to get Bussy and Ullmark. Neither one have had a good season. And the Canes obviously are better on paper. They had a great season. But like we already mentioned, I trust Ottawa. I trust Brady Tkachuk. I trust Fabian Zetterlund. I think that this team can hang. I'm not betting on them to pull off the upset, but I think that they can hang.
Yeah, last year was also huge for them to get that playoff experience. Just to get in last year, take Toronto to 6, gives me more confidence that this Ottawa team can go and give Carolina a good fight in their series, a good 6 or 7 game series.
Yeah. All right, we'll wrap this up real quick. The Stanley Cup Finals pick. Give me who beats who and in how many games.
So at the beginning of the year, I said the Dallas Stars were going to win the Stanley Cup, and I still do believe in that. They will beat the Carolina Hurricanes because they have to in 6 games.
Okay. I don't like the Canes out of the East. I think that it is clearly Tampa's conference to lose. I'm going to take – I was close on who I took on this. I'm going to take Tampa Bay over Dallas in 7 games.
A little 2020 rematch.
Exactly. I think that looking at it purely on paper, not at all with my heart, not at all what I want to see, I will be shocked if it's not Tampa out of the East, and it's going to be Colorado or Dallas out of the West. Those are the only 3 teams that I am giving a legitimate shot to win the Stanley Cup.
So no Edmonton for a third year.
No Edmonton.
No Vegas.
Not Minnesota. not Carolina. I think there are only 3 teams that could win the Stanley Cup.
I think Edmonton makes the conference finals, though.
Well, because they're not playing anybody.
They're not playing anyone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then they lose to Dallas or
Most
Colorado.
likely. Yeah, that's going to be a big one, is that second round where Dallas and most likely Dallas and almost definitely Colorado in the second round.
Or you get Minnesota, Colorado, which is just as good.
Well, that squashes both of our picks at that point.
Yes.
But
just as good of a series.
Yeah.
Both teams. This is going to be a fun playoffs.
I think so, too. Any final thoughts as we head into the postseason?
All right, one more final thought for me this year. What is going on in Long Island, guys? Okay, I'm sorry. Last week I said they were going to win all 2 or 3 of 3. I don't care. They fell off a cliff. Next year, we're going to be in the playoffs, hopefully, and you won't see me ultimately crash out on this hockey team.
Hopefully. We'll see what happens
this summer.
Next season. We'll see what happens in this Stanley Cup playoff. But until then, this has been the Dump and Chase podcast. I'm Noah Doris with Noah Seuss. Jack Rizzo's been along with us for the ride. Let's go hockey. We'll see you next season.